Hey guys, so this is basically a remake of a video I did a couple years ago. It's important to me that you know that these thoughts of mine are not new because I am usually ahead of everybody else intellectually, so it's clearly important to me that you know that I actually thought this 4 years ago. But I'm remaking the video because a lot of my thoughts have changed, and also the construct of the video was so bad because I was relating politics to religion, and even though that is a accurate comparison, I spent like half the video doing that. So let's focus more on the topic. So I made this video recently called Did Donald Trump Cause Division? And this video kind of stems off from that. Basically, the question, or what people need to learn, is that it's not just about a specific politician. The two main things, as I mentioned in this video, that cause division in our world is religion and the mainstream media. But I think the third biggest thing is politics. Like with what I explained in this very video right here, did Trump cause division? People only believe that because the mainstream media told people that he did, and that caused division. People buy into it based on what side of the spectrum that they're on, believe whatever they hear from that side, and use it to fuel their own ideals. And I genuinely hate the idea of identifying with a specific type of political party. Because all it really is a very specific set of rules or beliefs that you follow to call yourself, I'm a liberal, or I'm a conservative, or I'm an independent, whatever it might be. And in general, it's much better and freeing to just live as a smart, intelligent, well-moraled person with morals that you develop yourself, as opposed to saying, well, I follow the morals of the left, or I follow the morals of the right. That's dumb. Just be a human being who follows correct morals as a person. It's the same thing with religion when I connected it last time, how it's not necessarily good to just be a Christian or be an atheist. I'm an agnostic, which means I sit in the middle and weigh the information on both sides, or the beliefs of both sides, but don't actually pick one at all. Because I don't want to be someone who goes, there is no God and you should not believe in him and you're wrong if you do. Or, be a religious person who says you're wrong if you don't and you're going to hell and all that bullshit. Because that causes division, war, and hatred with people. And honestly, it's the exact same thing with politics. Both religion and politics operate in the exact same way as a cult. If you know what cults are, you know it to be true. The cult mentality is something that is constantly thrown around as an attack. The left uses it against the right, and the right uses it against the left. The only thing that actually has a cult mentality is SJWism, which is on the left, yes, but in general, there is cult-like mentalities on both sides. And ironically, both sides are accusing the other side of having this mentality, when in reality, you all do. The only people who don't are independents, people who look at politics in general and says, you know what, being on the right or being on the left is just straight up wrong. I don't need to identify with a specific political party that tells me what to think or what to believe or what to do or who to vote for. Rather, instead, I'm just a free-thinking, well-moraled human being. And this is why, in general, the two-party system must go. Because look at how much war, hatred, and division is caused just by a two-party system existing. The left thinking that they are perfect and hating everybody else, then the right thinking the exact same thing. As well as attacking specific liberties and social norms, like how SJWs want to take away free speech, like in its entirety, do things like revoke the First Amendment, and all kinds of really disgusting things like that. These are things that SJWs want. Some of you may not know, but it was about 3 years ago when I straight up noticed that it wasn't really left versus right anymore. It was more like left and right versus SJW. Because if you talk to a real liberal, like a classic liberal, they will tell you that they actually hate SJWs, because SJWism, aka extremist leftist, is not real liberals, because real liberals don't like them. And the right doesn't like SJWs either. So it really did become left and right versus SJW. And even that invalidates the whole idea of having a political side, because the two political sides came together to say, fuck SJWs. But in general, SJWism has kind of hijacked the leftist beliefs and taken them to an extremist level, and of course created new beliefs that make no sense. And even the real left, not the fake left, but the real left, doesn't want them anymore. Here's the real truth, and I've actually convinced 3 of my real life friends to drop politics as a whole, because not only is the entire idea of having a right wing and left wing ideology stupid, but politics as a whole is stupid. I mean, it's just like Albert Einstein said. Insanity is the idea of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's like the DNC. They did they did all this bullshit with Hillary Clinton and then did the exact same thing with Joe Biden. Now, granted, with Joe Biden, it actually worked. But the fact of the matter is, even though it worked, you still wound up with a terrible president who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Joe Biden is worse than what the media said Trump was. Okay? So sure, your strategies may have worked this time, but you still wound up with a crappy president. I'm not even against the DNC. The DNC could have made smart choices, like either Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard, both of which would have actually been great candidates. And ironically, it's actually because they were good that they were shafted and thrown to the wolves. Because for weird-ass reasons, the mainstream media and the DNC does not want a candidate who's actually good. They deliberately want somebody who's corrupt, or can barely speak, or is going to have terrible policies, or is going to screw people over. That's why they loved Hillary Clinton so much. I mean, hell, Joe Biden is about as establishment as you can possibly get. And it's because of these reasons that when I see people saying things like, we must elect a Democrat because that's the only way to save us, or the right saying, we must elect a Republican because that's the only way to save us. And yet, no matter how far into the future we get, nothing improves. And as Albert Einstein said, that is insanity. You people keep doing or electing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result, and then act surprised when you don't get a different result. The whole thing is corrupt. The whole thing is stupid. Smart people know that all politics is corrupt, and it's not based on side. If you think that your side is the correct side and the other side is the wrong side, you yourself are on the wrong side of history, and it is you yourself who is actually fueling division. Politics and having these sides was literally created for the purpose of causing people to fight, hate, and divide each other. People will only truly come together if we drop these ideals, and we drop these narratives, and we drop these groups, and we drop these sides, and just become normal, free-thinking human beings with morals, and not saying, my side is right and your side is wrong. What do you think? For the record.